Picture this. You're at the cinema, eagerly awaiting the latest blockbuster. You've just shelled out £15 for your ticket. A bit steep, but hey, it's in 3D. A few rows ahead you spot someone who paid a bit extra for the luxury of a balcony seat. Understandable considering the panoramic view. But then, it gets strange. The businessman in the sharp suit next to you casually mentions he paid £30 for his ticket. And just when you thought it couldn't get any weirder, the couple on your left whispers that they snagged both their tickets for a measly £9. Fasten your seatbelts and get ready for a turbulent ride as we delve into the baffling realm of airline pricing. Forget about logic, forget about fairness. In the airline industry, it's a whole different ballgame. Welcome to the jungle, where the rules are made up and the points don't matter, unless you're an airline executive, that is. We're about to expose the tricks of the trade, the hidden algorithms, and the strategic maneuvers that airlines use to squeeze every last penny out of your travel budget. By the end of this eye-opening journey, you'll not only understand the method behind the madness, but you'll also be armed with the knowledge to outsmart the system and snag those coveted cheap flights. Remember that outrageous movie ticket scenario? Well, buckle up because things are about to get even wilder. Let's dive straight into the deep end with a real head-scratcher, the curious case of the one-way ticket. Imagine this, you're browsing flights from London to New York, fancying a spontaneous trip across the pond. You check the price for a return flight and find a reasonable deal, let's say £400. But then, out of curiosity, you check the price of a one-way ticket for the same route, expecting it to be roughly half the price. To your astonishment, the one-way ticket comes in at a whopping £800. At first glance, it seems like airlines are blatantly ripping off those who dare to book one-way tickets. But as with most things in the aviation world, the truth is a bit more nuanced, and by nuanced, we mean frustratingly complex. The first thing to remember is that airlines are businesses, and like all businesses, their primary goal is to maximize profits. They achieve this by using sophisticated algorithms and data analysis to predict demand and adjust prices accordingly. Airlines, being the savvy operators they are, picked up on this trend and started slapping higher fares on one-way tickets to capitalize on the assumed willingness of business travelers to pay a premium for flexibility. But hold on a minute, you might be thinking, what about the cost of actually operating the flight? Well, here's the thing. Airline pricing has very little to do with the actual cost of flying. The price you pay for your ticket is determined not by the cost of getting you from A to B, but by a complex interplay of factors, including demand, competition, and your perceived willingness to pay. Check one, check two, check. Let's break this down further, shall we? Imagine for a moment that you're on that flight from London to New York. You're nestled in your economy class seat, sipping on a lukewarm cup of tea and nibbling on a questionable-looking sandwich. Now let's say that sandwich costs the airline £2 to produce. Does that mean they're going to charge you £2 for the privilege of consuming it? Of course not. Think about it. Every empty seat on a flight represents a lost revenue opportunity for the airline. They've already paid for the fuel, the crew, the airport fees, all those fixed costs are non-negotiable. So if they can fill that empty seat, even at a discounted price, they're still better off than flying with it empty. And if you thought this whole pricing system was already complicated enough, hold on to your hats because we're about to enter the realm of data-driven madness. Airlines have become masters at collecting and analyzing data about your travel habits. They know where you like to fly, when you like to fly, and how much you're willing to pay. They use this information to create detailed passenger profiles and to tailor their pricing strategies accordingly. So, if you're the type of person who always books last-minute flights to exotic destinations, don't be surprised if you find yourself consistently paying top dollar. We've established that airline pricing isn't about fairness, it's about strategy. But what does that strategy look like in practice? Imagine a giant invisible machine constantly churning through data, analyzing your every move as you navigate the online booking process. Airlines have become experts at profiling passengers, using sophisticated algorithms to categorize us based on our booking behaviors, travel patterns, and even our online browsing habits. One of the key distinctions airlines make is between business travelers and leisure travelers. Business travelers, often perceived as having deeper pockets and less flexibility, are typically willing to shell out more for last-minute bookings, flexible tickets, and premium cabins. Leisure travelers, on the other hand, are often more price-sensitive, planning their trips well in advance and seeking out the best possible deals. Airlines exploit this divide by adjusting prices based on factors like the day of the week, the time of year, and even the specific route. Fly on a Monday morning or a Friday evening, and you're likely to encounter a higher concentration of business travelers driving up prices. So how do we, the intrepid travelers, navigate this complex web of algorithms and pricing strategies? The key is to understand the game and play it to our advantage. First and foremost, remember that knowledge is power. The more you know about how airlines set prices, the better equipped you'll be to spot a good deal and avoid overpaying. Secondly, be flexible. If your travel dates are set in stone, you're playing right into the airline's hands. Meet Jason, a jovial carpenter in his early 40s living just outside Birmingham. Jason is a family man, through and through, and his annual holiday to the sun-kissed shores of the Mediterranean is sacred. Every year he meticulously plans this getaway, poring over brochures with his wife and 2 children, their eyes lighting up at the prospect of building sandcastles and splashing in turquoise waters. For Jason, price is paramount. Every pound saved on airfare means more money for ice creams, souvenirs, and those little indulgences that make a holiday special. Now, let's hop across the aisle and into the world of Greg, a seasoned finance executive in his late 40s, navigating the whirlwind of international business trips. Greg's life is a symphony of board meetings, conference calls, and meticulously planned itineraries. He thinks nothing of jetting off to Frankfurt one day and Dubai the next, his tailored suit always impeccably pressed, his phone a constant buzz of activity. Unlike Jason, Greg rarely glances at the price of his ticket. His company foots the bill, and his priority is convenience, not cost-cutting. Now imagine Jason and Greg boarding the same flight from Birmingham to Malaga. Jason, sporting his trusty holiday attire cargo shorts and a well-worn I Love Spain t-shirt, settles into his carefully chosen aisle seat, his children buzzing with excitement beside him. He smiles contentedly, knowing he's bagged a bargain, his meticulous planning paying off. A few rows ahead, Greg, in his signature power suit, strides confidently into the business class cabin, his laptop bag slung over his shoulder. He barely acknowledges the flight attendant's greeting, too engrossed in a last-minute email to notice the envious glances from economy. As the plane soars above the clouds, these 2 passengers, separated by a mere curtain, embody the stark realities of airline pricing. Remember those cryptic letters and numbers that pop up when you're searching for flights? You know, the ones that look like a secret code only decipherable by airline executives and seasoned travel agents? Those, my friends, are fare codes, and they hold the key to understanding the labyrinthine world of airline pricing. At first glance, they seem as random as letters in a bowl of alphabet soup, but in reality, they represent a complex system of fare classes, each with its own set of rules, restrictions, and of course, price tags. These fare codes are like the secret handshake of the airline industry, a language only spoken fluently by those in the know. Now you might be thinking, but I only ever see economy, premium economy, business, and first class when I book a flight. What's all this talk about fare classes? Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Within each of those cabin classes, there are multiple fare classes lurking beneath the surface, each with its own price point and set of terms and conditions. For example, that economy cabin you're eyeing up might be subdivided into fare classes like Economy Basic, Economy Classic, and Economy Flex. Each class comes with its own set of restrictions, such as baggage allowances, change fees, and seat selection options. The timing of your booking plays a crucial role in determining which fare class you end up with, and ultimately, how much you'll pay for your flight. Airlines typically release a limited number of seats in the cheapest fare classes first, hoping to attract budget-conscious travelers like Jason who are willing to book well in advance. As these seats get snapped up, the price gradually increases, moving up the fare class ladder. This is why early birds often catch the best deals. They're rewarded for their planning and flexibility with access to those coveted lower fare classes. Last-minute bookers, on the other hand, are often left scrambling for whatever seats are left, often paying a premium for the privilege of spontaneity. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, and sometimes airlines release last-minute deals to fill empty seats. But these are becoming increasingly rare as airlines become more sophisticated in their pricing strategies and as demand for air travel continues to rise. So if you're looking to save money on your next flight, take a leaf from Jason's book and plan. Those early bird discounts might just be worth the extra effort. As you browse flights, imagine an invisible eye tracking your every move. It observes the dates you input, the routes you favor, even the time you spend hovering over that tempting "Book Now" button. This isn't paranoia, it's the reality of the sophisticated algorithms airlines employ to predict demand and, crucially, maximize their profits. They're not just selling flights, they're playing a high-stakes game of chess, anticipating your next move and adjusting prices accordingly. Consider those seemingly random price fluctuations. 1 minute a flight is a steal, the next it's sky high. These aren't glitches, they're calculated adjustments based on factors like the number of searches for that route, the time remaining until departure, and even your browsing history. Have you been eyeing up business class tickets to Rome? Don't be surprised if the price of that economy flight to Malaga mysteriously creeps up. The system remembers, and it adapts. Section 2. Cracking the code, decoding airline behavior. To outsmart the system, you need to think like the airlines. They thrive on patterns, identifying and exploiting the predictable behaviors of different traveler types. Take business travelers, for example. Airlines know they prioritize flexibility and are often less sensitive to price. So they reserve those last-minute, fully refundable tickets at a premium, of course, knowing that someone somewhere will hit that Book Now button in a frenzy of deadline-driven desperation. Leisure travelers, on the other hand, tend to be more price-conscious and plan their trips in advance. Airlines cater to this group with early bird discounts, flash sales, and those elusive error fares that send bargain hunters into a frenzy. But here's the rub. These deals are often limited, designed to entice early bookers and create a sense of urgency. Hesitate, and you might miss out. Section 3. Outsmarting the system tips from a travel guru. So how do you, the intrepid traveler, navigate this digital maze of algorithms and fare codes? Knowledge is your compass and flexibility, your most valuable currency. First, become a master of disguise. Airlines track your online activity through cookies, tiny files that remember your browsing habits. Clear your cookies regularly, or use a private browsing window to mask your search patterns. This throws a wrench in their data-gathering machine, making it harder for them to pinpoint your price sensitivity. Next, embrace the art of off-peak travel. Flying midweek or during shoulder seasons, those magical periods between peak and off-peak often yield significantly lower fares. Airlines hate flying empty seats, so they're more likely to offer discounts during these less popular travel times. Remember, flexibility is key. If your travel dates are set in stone, you're playing right into the airline's hands. Be open to adjusting your itinerary by a day or two, and you might just unlock a world of savings. Section 1. The price of freedom. The world of airline pricing may seem like a carefully orchestrated chaos designed to leave you bewildered and reaching for your wallet. But amidst the algorithms, the fare classes, and the strategic price hikes, there's a glimmer of hope for the savvy traveler. Remember Jason, our budget-conscious family man? He understands that knowledge is power in this high-stakes game. He knows that by mastering the art of flexibility, planning, and strategic booking, he can unlock the secrets of affordable air travel. He doesn't begrudge the airlines their profits, he simply chooses not to be an unwitting source of them. He views the search for cheap flights as a challenge, a puzzle to be solved with a combination of research, patience, and a touch of good humor. The thrill of snagging that elusive bargain, of outsmarting the system and securing his family's dream holiday at a fraction of the cost. That's a reward worth fighting for. Section 2. Join the flight club. And so, dear traveler, we leave you at the departure gate, armed with the knowledge to navigate the turbulent skies of airline pricing. Embrace the unexpected, befriend flexibility, and never underestimate the power of a well-timed booking. Remember, the airlines may hold the cards, but you, the informed traveler, have the power to play them to your advantage. So the next time you find yourself lost in a labyrinth of fare codes and price comparisons, take a deep breath, channel your inner Jason, and remember the golden rule of flying. The journey to affordable air travel is a marathon, not a sprint. And with a little bit of know-how, a dash of patience, and a whole lot of determination, you too can soar above the clouds of exorbitant airfares and land smoothly in the land of budget-friendly travel. Happy travels, and may the fare gods be ever in your favor. Don't forget to subscribe to Weird Finance for more tips and tricks on navigating the world of travel and finance.